The yellow Danfo bus, scarred by years of Lagos traffic, groaned as Emeka slammed the gear into place. Dust from the Oshodi motor park swirled around him, coating his brow in a salty grit. His childhood friend, Sigan, stood by the roadside, leaning against a shiny new SUV he didn't own. He was merely the hired driver for a local politician. "Emeka, look at you," Sigan roared, pointing at Emeka's oil-stained singlet. "Still fighting with steering wheels for 5 naira change. My brother, even the tires of this car cost more than your life savings. You die single because no woman wants a man who smells like diesel and exhaust fumes." The surrounding touts joined in the laughter, their voices rising above the chaotic symphony of car horns. Emeka felt the sting of the words, but he simply gripped the wheel tighter. He wasn't just a driver, he was a man working 2 jobs to finish his correspondence degree in business administration. "Every hustle has its day, Sigan," Emeka replied quietly, though his voice was nearly drowned out by the roar of an engine. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the Lagos Lagoon, a sleek black sedan broke down right in front of Emeka's bus. While other drivers honked and swerved around, Emeka pulled over. He stepped out, not as a beggar, but as a man who knew exactly how to fix a flooded engine. He didn't know then that the woman behind the tinted glass was watching his every move with curious, tired eyes. The woman stepped out of the car, her heels clicking sharply against the cracked asphalt. This was Isabella Cole, the CEO of Cole Logistics, a woman whose name was whispered in boardrooms across West Africa. She looked stressed, her phone dead and a high-stakes meeting only 20 minutes away. "I can have this running in 5 minutes, ma'am," Emeka said, wiping his hands on a rag. He didn't ogle her or beg for a tip. He worked with a surgical precision that fascinated her. As he tightened a loose battery terminal, they struck up a conversation. He spoke with an eloquence that bypassed his rugged appearance, mentioning his studies and his observations on the inefficiencies of the city's transport grid. Isabella was struck by his insight. "You're overqualified for that yellow bus," she noted, her eyes lingering on his calm face. "A man does what he must to get where he's going," he replied, handing her the keys as the engine roared to life. Over the next few months, Isabella found excuses to pass through his route. What started as "thank you" coffees turned into long dinners where they debated logistics, philosophy, and the future of Nigeria. She saw a diamond in the rough, a man of integrity whose ambition matched her own. Meanwhile, Sigan continued to mock him, unaware that Emeka was no longer driving the bus for himself, but managing a small fleet he had started with Isabella's mentorship. The laughter of the park felt further and further away.
Please, just
The wedding at the Oriental Hotel was the talk of Lagos. The ballroom was a sea of white orchids and gold accents. Sigan stood at the back of the hall, his mouth agape, holding a tray of drinks. He had lost his job with the politician and was now working for the catering company. He watched in stunned silence as Emeka, draped in a bespoke white agbada, stood at the altar. Beside Emeka stood Isabella, radiant in a gown that cost more than a fleet of Danfos. When the priest announced them husband and wife, the applause was deafening. During the reception, Emeka caught Sigan's eye. He didn't look at him with malice or triumph, he looked at him with a quiet, grounded pity. "I heard you were looking for work," Emeka said privately to Sigan later that evening, leaning against the head table. "My wife's company is looking for a fleet supervisor. It requires discipline, Sigan. Not just a loud mouth." Sigan looked down at his shoes, the weight of his former mockery finally crushing his pride. He realized then that while he was busy laughing at the struggle, Emeka was busy building a bridge to a new life. As the couple took to the floor for their first dance, the city lights of Lagos twinkled outside. The former bus driver held the CEO close, his hands, once stained with oil, now steady and sure, holding the future he had worked so hard to claim. The engine of his life had finally found its rhythm.